All right. Got Robbo, Dr. Bob, and Blair today. I'm just testing this. Just a little bit of a water test on it, and it failed. So just rebuffed it back up to get the colour back over where I tested it.
Keep up
Did
with
you
Blair.
did you put the canola wax over the top of that or not?
No, not yet.
I'd try that and then try it again and see if it makes a difference.
All right.
So what's on it now, Jay?
It's my homemade embellishing wax.
So it's the coconut oil.
Hang on, Robert. Sorry, Blair. That's coconut oil. Trying to think of the other oil that got used.
Carnauba wax?
No.
No?
It is so secret,
Oh,
he forgot
beeswax,
it.
sorry. Beeswax was the only other thing that got put in it.
Yeah.
Besides the colour, of course.
Hey, Robert. How are you, sir?
G'day, Robert.
And Harry.
And Harry, of course.
Yes. You got to keep the puka happy.
And
If you don't believe me, read Mary Chase's books about Harvey. He was a puka too. And only Harvey could hear him talk.
You've been getting into your son's stash again, have you, Dr. Bob?
No, that's was a Broadway play that I saw, the first one I ever saw, and then I've done a lot of little theater, all techie stuff. Yeah, I've done 3 times.
How you going, Chris?
Greetings, Chris. Hey, what grit wheels did you get, Bob?
well, Robert, you have Harry, and mine as far as that is Vladimir now. Vladimir the voodoo doll.
Nice one.
Vlad the cat. Vlad the cat. Robert said that he's got his CBN wheels now. He's got them in. I ended up getting 180 and 600.
Wow. 600.
Robert says, I thought that was Dark's voodoo doll.
It is. They had to give him a name. Now I can just say to Dark, just be careful, Dark, or I'll be getting Vlad out. No, actually, the problem with Robert is it's a little bit schizophrenic. Actually, it's got a lot of characters. Like anybody that mentions the P or the C words had it.
It's getting their name added onto the back.
Yeah. Or in Mark's case, the misuse of a skew chisel.
What you up to today, Blair?
Well,
Eating.
yeah, I'd like to be 18 again for
No, eating.
today.
I said eating.
Oh. So today was interesting. On the property, it was actually a really nice day today. And so I ended up getting a lot of things done, walking around property, and saw that a portion of fence. Remember when I told you we had the great big windstorm and lots of trees went down and all that kind of stuff? Anyway, apparently there were 3 trees that went down on this property, but these trees were grown into the fence. And so basically all they did was just chop up the tree and leave these stumps in the fence because they didn't want to, screw up the fence or, whatever. Anyway, so I ended up breaking out these stumps from the fence and brought them home. And one of them actually was split almost to the pith. And I thought, you know what? Let's have a little fun. So I split it. And I've been down in the shop and turned a nice kind of a winged bowl out of it. And the grain is brilliant. It has sat long enough that it was dry. And the grain is just, I'll show you when it's dry. So other than that, yeah, pretty decent day.
Sounds like it. I ended up on my derriere sliding down a driveway with a propane tank in arms. Didn't hurt the tank, but sure screwed my back up. But being an old fart, I should know better.
Well, you and me both. I mean, I'm not that old, but if I find I lift something wrong, then my body feels it.
Yeah, I didn't lift it wrong, but then I, like a fool, decided, well, I'm going to fix this, and I put the tank down and proceeded to spend an hour and a half breaking ice for a path from the front of the house around the side through the gate and back to the shop. That probably did it more damage than anything. Because the places we had 4 inches of ice where the upper story gutters are plugged, and when the snow melts, it pours on the sidewalk and the driveway, and that's where we get a lot of ice. But I don't have a ladder 2 stories high to get up there.
And Hodges said got a lot of weird grain direction from growing around the fence. Question.
No, not really. The piece that I got didn't even touch the fence, but the grain is just beautiful.
What do you think the tree was?
I don't know. Turning this one was a smell that I'd never smelled before. It was almost chestnutty. I don't know.
Dark wood, light wood?
It's light. It might be dry enough, but hold on a minute. I'll be right back.
Now, here you go, Robert. there's quite a few people have been. Robert says I've been doing a lot of carving sanding for my flower challenge piece, and my back is getting pretty sore. I think that Daniel might end up with a lot of litigation against him, because that seems to be the thing. There's a lot of people that have got sore fingers, sore backs from doing this flower challenge.
Well, I don't know. If it ever went to court, they'd probably declare it that it would be creative art masochistic tendencies.
Yeah. No, I'm just thinking about some of the stupid cases that go to court, that's all, particularly in America.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know if this slide is going to be good enough that...
Jay, would you like to put Blair up on full screen, please?
Yeah, it's not really showing. It actually has like little waves in it, like especially right around in through here.
Little ripples.
Yeah. It
Isn't it annoying, Blair, when you can see it with your eye, but the bloody camera won't pick it up?
yeah. So on the whole, yeah.
Nice job.
It looks good anyway.
Yeah.
Very good. I've got wood I've turned like that, but the ripples that I have found, at least I was taught by my grandparents when grandfather was teaching me, is when a tree grows, you can tell what side of the mountain it grows on, whether it's in the middle of the forest or at the edge of the forest. All this stuff, whether it was taller, the one on top of the mountain, could all be BS, but he said that if you see the ripples in the wood, that's from the tree moving a lot while it was growing. So it had to be somewhere where it wasn't causing air to cause the problem, and it just kept blowing the tree as it moved. So we called it, I think it was shock.
Robert, I can't wait to see what you've done. That it sounds interesting. But you do have that coring system, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I watched him do it with his one way when he got it. I've used them, never owned one, but I've used them before. They're easy enough to use, but like a typical, I don't know, like me, I got the one that was harder to use. But you have more variety of being able to have individual knives, and they're not anchored.
Yay!
Beautiful. You can tell it's made for drinking. With a heavier base, it makes it less likely to knock over as you're trying to set it down. Gives it more weight in the bottom to counteract the weight of the drink inside.
Ah, you big sook, Robert. Live dangerously. I actually find when I used to do some coring, I've got a woodcut coring system. I used to bring the tool rest virtually nearly sitting on the front of the bowl, just in case the bowl did come out. It just rattled around inside.
Yeah, I have the McNaughton with all the, and it's an older one. I've had it about 15 years and got all the blades to it. It was a gift.
I must admit the woodcut, the coring thing has sat in the cupboard, I think, for probably nearly 35 years. I don't think I've had it out except to look at it. Oh yeah.
Jay had a bigger motor, then he could play with it.
You better get it out when I'm there, Robbo. I'll burn a hole in it. I know what it is. I'm just, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be a worry, Robert. I must admit, if it had flaws down it. In that case, then prudence is a better part of valor.
I'm only just putting a dent in it.
Yeah, I don't think they make a coring system that's 4 foot in diameter.
Oi. It's about time they did.
No.
Yes.
I think I've seen one. Not for sale. It was a homemade one. It was on YouTube years and years ago.
Hi, Amy. Good to see you.
Hi,
Amy.
She says she can't stay long, but she's here. Okay, Jay, exact duplicate, ready to go.
Yeah. See, even Robbo's choking in laughter. So, Blair, I don't know if you've seen this before, but I made another coloured wax.
Oh, cool. I like it. It's more orangey.
It's definitely orange, all right. It's a fluoro orange. So, because I got those pigments.
Yeah.
So it's that one today.
You shouldn't give your trade secrets away. That way you can't sell the product in Australia.
They don't know what the pigment is. It took bloody 6 months to get here, that stuff.
Jeez.
So I'm 6 months ahead of people already, you say? That's fair enough, eh?
That's a term I haven't heard except in Australian cowboy movies. Fair dinkum.
Fair dinkum, mate. There you go. Look, this bowl that cracked them in or dicked it up at the end. I ended up colouring a purple inside.
Oh, wow.
That's resin on the bottom there, so it's not colouring that anytime soon.
A yarn bowl.
Yeah. A something bowl. Yeah.
No, it's a crack pot.
It's a crackpot, and it was made by one too. Like this crack here. This one goes like right around to here, and then there's others that come around this way. So it's not far off from just being able to grab it and go snap with the whole top.
But the grain is gorgeous.
Yeah, I love the X that's in it.
Yeah, it's different, hey? Right where the branches were. This is the same wood as that goblet just before. Ghost gum. Wow. Stop looking at me. What? What? I think I can say this publicly because it's my post on Facebook. I think everyone that's sooking about me poisoning the rats needs
Really?
to stop being a sook.
Why? Who's
They're
sooked
saying,
about it?
Mike's had a bit of a sook about it. Oh, why don't you shoot him with a slug gun or something like that instead? And then Debbie, I can't remember her last name. She's gone, oh yeah, shoot him with a gun. That's better than poison. It's like, oh, yeah, all right. You don't live here, but okay.
The grinder in the background is an 8-inch.
Sorry, I haven't got one. I don't know what you're on about.
Yeah, the grinder that
Yeah. It looks huge because it is.
What grit do you have on it?
80, I think.
Yep.
So I got these. All right.
can't see them real well on that.
You gonna make a disco ball?
Yeah, they're actually off of a little foam disco ball. I stole the little mirrors. I know, can you see them, Robbo?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can tell what they are, but it's hard to see them in the packet. It's even harder to see it like that.
Oh. What are you eating now?
What are you gonna make a vest for yourself?
Sorry?
You can make a vest for yourself or a fancy belt. Become known as the dancing king.
Hey! See, Robbo?
There's even a song about it that's well known.
Yeah. No, I was just thinking about cutting a groove maybe in the bottom or something and gluing these in. I don't know. We'll see what happens yet. It might just look nice orange.
Well, down the side, if I had a router, I might have to try that and just simply route a piece
No, I haven't got a router.
big enough to hold them and then glue them in place after I'm done.
It's one of those.
I know.
That's right, Amy. Shake your groove thing. Shake your moneymaker.
Who?
To answer your question, Joe, I'm eating Madeira cake.
Right, that's it. Get out.
At least it's not Jaffa cakes. Oh, now I know why he turns off the microphone when he gets his hammer out. He's thinking about us as he's taking it out on the wood.
Oh, no. You guys are the shavings falling on the floor.
Oh.
I'll tell you, that's what got me through post-traumatic stress. Whenever I have a relapse and after I got out of being a POW, I took the anger out on a piece of wood on the lathe. And I could sit and look at the piling of shavings that I was standing in, and I hadn't made anything. And I used to say, well, people ask me, I said, that's my anger, because I'm not angry anymore.
I'm bashing the crap out of it. I think it maybe went on a millimeter. So,
Well, it was what I was doing was learning tool control with junk wood, but I never thought of it the other way until we got into a discussion at one of our clinic groups of why I did that. And it worked. You don't have to take your angry out on a wife or a girlfriend or a kid. Take it out on a piece of wood and be surprised what creativity comes up.
Yep. If you know anyone that takes it out on their girlfriend, just send them my number and I'll send the boys around.
Oh, now we know. Jay in the Hood.
Yeah. Ask Robbo. I live next door to it.
Jay's Hood.
Well, Robbo may not know actually, but there was a suburb here called Salisbury Downs, and they renamed it to Hawkesbury Park. And let's just say it didn't do anything for the name. It didn't do anything for the area. I mean, just a blur.
Well, it's the same here. We've got one called the Pines, and they renamed that Frankston North.
Too much bad stigma on that old name, eh?
Didn't improve the population any, I can assure you.
Oh, stop feeding your bloody faces and talk already.
I've stopped eating. I've finished my bit at the moment anyway.
I'm just munching on peanuts.
He's grazing.
Grazing, yeah.
Grazing.
And they're definitely crunchy. You can hear them.
Oh, really?
Oh, Amy, I didn't think you'd know anything about things like that.
Okay, you're going to have to explain that one. Franga?
Yeah, she spelled it wrong, actually. It should be ER on the end, not the A. French letter.
Okay, what is Franger?
A French letter. That's got you as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, me too.
Right. A prophylactic condom.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Never heard that term.
Oh, that's a good Australian term. Yeah, you got your frangers with you? That was the first thing that most teenage boys during my era used to put in their pocket.
And stayed there for years.
Yeah, I think some of them rotted there, I reckon. It's like a mate of mine asked his girlfriend, or a girl that he was taking out to get something out of the glove box, and about 10 condoms fell out. And she said, "You are hopeful."
Ah, those were the days.
Yeah, one of the kids I raised years ago, I always made sure that they had protection. And he ended up, I don't know what it was in. Oh, it was at church, and he was reaching in his pockets. And it was summer where you didn't wear suits or suit pants, you just jeans, shorts, comfortable. He reached in to get something out of his big baggy shorts because he was a skater, and he had the big baggies. And he goes and he pulls, and here's 5 or 6 condoms come out on the floor of the church in the lobby or Northex. And he's busy picking them all up. And the pastor looks over there and he says, "You expect to use all them today, young man?" here in church? And everybody turned to look at him, and he went from about 6'1" to 2 foot, hiding under a table.
Sprung odds. Robert says, haha, my wife to be asked to borrow my jacket one night, and she put her hands in my pocket and found one. Well, that's a sign of an optimist, Robert.
Yeah.
Is that why she's happy for you to play with dollies? So you don't need one?
Ooh. Puka. It's a puka by definition. But of course, we all know it's a stage prop, but it fits so perfectly the way he uses it.
Yeah, very clever.
Guys, be right back. I'm gonna go get a cuppa.
The only thing, Robert, is I bet you'd be in more trouble now if you found one in your pocket.
Though I did play on one of the foster kids I raised, I did play a very, very dirty joke on him. And it was because of a nurse that I was dating at the time, a surgical nurse. And she had come back and she had brought finger condoms that they use and put on their fingers when they have to go probing parts of the body.
Yep.
And they're all rolled up, just like the ones that we're used to. So I switched some out because they were in individual packages, just like. And he comes back from a very mad date, and the comment was very simple. She started laughing and laughing and laughed so bad she got sick and lost her meal, and she didn't feel like doing anything and had to go home over it all. I told him when he grows up a bit, give her a call. Oh, did I ever get the cold shoulder over that for quite a while?
Mm.
It was a
Okay.
good practical joke. I didn't expect it to go that far.
I think Robert, you'd start getting a bit worried if some of the groupies on your YouTube channel started harassing you, wouldn't you? I would.
He's back and
L'chaim.
Al-Qaeda. Robert, why don't you join us? There's a link in the chat. You can ask your sidekick. I don't think he would say no. Or you can have him join us also.
He says that he's inside and his wife's watching a movie, so it can't be too noisy.
Well, he could
Besides,
wear his Bluetooth headset.
No, she'd probably think that he was mad then talking to himself.
Sveti went back to Sweden.
And Harry's over it.
You could almost do a cartoon strip on that. Or the ongoing saga.
Yeah, along the lines of like Calvin and Hobbes.
Yes. That's what I was thinking of, but I couldn't think of the name.
Used to love Calvin and Hobbes.
No, Hagar the Horrible was one of my favourite ones, and The Wizard of Id.
Now you're dating yourself there, Robbo.
I know.
That was a good comic strip. And now it's popular again. It's called Retro.
Yeah, and there was one out here that you probably never got in America, which was called Foot Rot Flats. That was fantastic. That was written by a New Zealander.
No, never heard of it.
Sorry?
To Google I go to look it up.
Yeah, just Foot Rot Flats. It's about a sheep farmer. Or a farmer, generally. And his dog.
Yeah.
And his dog named Dog.
You sure it wasn't Diogi?
No.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was just dog, that's all.
Yep. I remember the movie they made about it.
Well,
Yeah.
if it's been that long ago, someone's probably stuck it up on YouTube.
Good day,
Yeah.
Chris.
So many movies have come out this past year that all are out of royalties and licensing up on YouTube.
I'm sorry. Hello.
Yeah, I had to buy new Bluetooth today. I've had them and they have been very good and they were expensive, and I contacted the manufacturer because I turned them on and it said my warranty had run out, no software update available. And they stopped working. And that's what the manufacturer's site said too. They tried to do an upgrade of software, but it totally killed them all. You found the cartoon from them, eh?
Hold on a quick second.
That'll get me a copyright strike, so just watch out what you play, huh?
Oh, then I won't do it.
Well, it depends how long ago it was.
Not long ago, in the 80s.
Yeah, 1986. Should I or should I not? Up to you, Jay.
I think it's got to be under 20 or 30 seconds. So you can share the screen if you want. Is that what you did?
Yep, hold on. Okay, and we'll stop that. Just don't want to get
almost like a spin-off in the Flintstones, but regionalized.
Or nothing like it.
Well, looked like caveman period.
No, that's a New Zealand farmer.
Okay.
Blue singlets and shorts.
Interesting work clothes.
Yeah, that's what all the shearers wear mainly over here is a blue singlet, and they might wear pants so they don't get, some people get a bit allergic or whatever to sheep's wool if it's rubbed up against them all day, you know.
Oh yeah, the lanolin.
I'm sure there's only certain industries that can tell me about that. Didn't like that one, Blair.
So, Jay, have you seen any hide nor hair of the little vermin?
Yep. Not all of them, but some of them have come back. Yes.
So, have you ever seen a bucket trap?
No. Oh, where they climb in and can't get out.
So, what you do is you get a 5-gallon bucket, paint bucket, whatever. Get a clothes hanger and poke it through just like a bottle of some sort, or even like a soda can or whatever. So long as it spins on the wire hanger.
Yep.
And then you drape that across the bucket. And then you put peanut butter all the way around the little can or bottle or whatever. And then just put 2 ramps on each side so that the whatever can try to get the peanut butter. And when they do, then they fall into the bucket. And then you go and drop them off at your least favorite neighbor.
The only problem with that is that I've got my neighbours are very close, very, very close. So they'd find their way back. They've been coming here for years because of the dog we used to have, you see. So. I know there's mostly plenty of humane ways of doing it, but
when I had my chickens, I made one of them, and I must have caught at least 10.
Yep. I've done 2 nights worth of bait so far. Yeah, I'm over it, to be honest. I was looking forward
Looks
to
like Robo's back.
Yeah.
So everybody spoke at once.
Because I was talking.
So what were you saying, Jay? Sorry.
I said I was really looking forward to my ghost chilies, and not have rats, annihilate the bush. So as far as I'm concerned, whatever I've got lying around the house doesn't cost me anything extra to buy or whatever. And it's just unlucky to the rat. Anyone's more than welcome to come over and catch them if they want.
Give me a week. I'll be there. Hey, do you have a couple $1,000 to fly me there?
Yeah, I should have killed about.
2 weeks. You got
20
to isolate for 2 weeks in Australia.
Nah, not in South Australia. You don't. You can just come here.
Yeah, I'm afraid I'm the same with you, Amy. Occasionally we'll get mice and rats through the workshop here. And we've got a 12-monthly pest control program, and they refill all the baits and everything. And then they disappear again for a while. No pity in our place for them.
No, not here either.
And no mercy. I just finished sharpening a skew chisel once, and I was just sitting on a chair, just taking off the sharp edges around the sides of the blade, and a rat ran across the workshop, and I just got the chisel and I went down at ground level about an inch off the ground and just went with the skew chisel like that as it ran past. I opened it up from mouth to tail. Geez, it was a good shot, but a little bastard put blood all over the end of the skew chisel. I had to clean it off.
And all over the shop.
Oh, yeah, there was a big pool of it on the floor.
That's what shavings are for. You just push it over top and let it soak them up.
Exactly, and that's what did happen too. And then shoveled the lot into the fire, rat included.
Ratatouille.
Yeah. No, I went in to tell Julie about it, and she wasn't interested in seeing it.
Wonder why.
Be right back.
Yeah,
No
boy.
worries.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, agreed, Amy.
Yeah. I got 2 lots that come into the yard. There's 4 or 5 that are reasonably small, and then there's 4 or 5, another group that are like really long. I got pathers outside my shed, and some of them are 2 pathers long. Like, they're quite big. So they can probably.
Hopefully you get rid of them.
Yeah, right.
Can't you get the city to put traps out for them because they're a public nuisance, public health hazard?
No, they don't need to. I already did. You've got to hire a trap from them. Well, you don't hire it; you get it for free, but you've got to pay a deposit on it, $100 deposit. So, not happening. We tried that with the cats, getting rid of feral cats too, and they wanted $100 for a trap deposit. Anyway.
Had a friend of a friend of a friend that lived on the edge of a national park.
Yeah.
And we used to go spotlighting feral cats. One night we got 12.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they used to be really bad around here. A couple of people moved out, and the ferals went with them. Ooh.
We're talking about cats, not kids.
Yeah, whatever you want to. Yeah, you can.
Ah.
Well, if you pick a date, you're going to set it up with Cade to do a demo. Going to have to get some lead time to get out to all the followers
Oh,
and
stop! Can you
Hey, Bob, hey,
Dr. Bob?
hey, hey.
That was said in a non-live for a reason. All right. I want to keep things a secret sometimes so we can, you know.
Well, I didn't know. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, that's why I did it before we went live. Talked about it. Yeah.
I got things I should be doing. I know.
Nah. Break time for an hour, 2. What do they say? All work and no play makes Robbo a dull boy.
I'm dull anyway. Very, very staid and laid back with most things I am.
Hodge says, "Oh man, I'm posting this on Instagram now."
Yeah,
Just kidding.
just kidding. Yeah.
What did I miss? You might have to message me.
Oh, no wonder I'm feeling restless. Just it's after cup of tea time. Better go and do that.
Doesn't Coke take the place of tea?
What's that?
Doesn't Coke take the place of tea?
No, not really. All right, Amy. Thanks for coming in.
Bye.
See you later. See ya, Amy. Thank you.
And Chris from Barley Woodworks reckon he's gone deaf because he didn't hear anything. All right. I'll be back shortly.
What is it, Sergeant Schultz, that says, "I know nothing? I hear
Yes.
nothing"? I used to love Hogan's Heroes.
So did I. And it's still running. It's that popular. And it's running on YouTube because it's public domain.
Looks like Jameson is it popped in. Howdy, Sarge. What, Sarge?
How you going, Sarge?
You still in Texas?
Nope, didn't ask a question.
I thought you said, "How are you doing, Sarge?"
Well, I did do that, but that was a long time ago.
Oh, because it takes like, you got to get that 30-second lag in between too, Blair,
Oh, that's true.
for YouTube.
Looks like he's in Mississippi still. So, Bob, have you been working on anything?
Yeah, I put something up on my Facebook today. And also in our little group that we have, I put a couple of pictures up. Was able to get some propane to heat the shop up, and in doing so, I have been doing oil on a piece now, about 4 coats, and I tried bringing it in the house where it could cure easier, except I found Riley likes the smell of it, and besides that it tasted good, he started licking it. So I tried eating it the second time, and he still found it. And I left it on a chuck because I want to be able to mount it to do some finish polishing and some work on the inside, buffing it out, because I oiled the inside too after sanding. So I waited and waited, and I thought, well, I'm going to take it outside, but I was low on propane, no pressure. So I put it on a turntable, and it was hit with about 400-degree temperature as it rotated, and it cured nicely.
Nice.
It wasn't that cold. It was about 4 foot away from the heater.
What kind of oil?
It's a walnut oil without the dryers.
Oh,
Mahoney, it's like Mahoney's oil, but this I bought back when he was selling it in his own cans. And it didn't have the dryers that are in it today, because that was a big thing he pushed a long time ago. And I got a couple of big cans of it. And I really like it.
I've never used walnut oil. I would like to. Uh-oh.
Whoa.
Anything?
He's still standing, so he didn't get hurt. That's good.
No, I'm at the back of the lathe when I'm doing that, so it's not too bad. Miles away. Honestly, to be honest, I'm surprised the last piece didn't do it.
The one that I just finished leapt off twice.
Yep.
Yeah, but the jaws are too far apart. They're supposed to be fairly close, because you're only touching on the corners. If it's wet wood, it doesn't matter, because you can crush the grain. Hardwood, you can't.
This is pretty solid wood.
Then you're only holding on by 8 points. You need to make your tendons a little smaller. So the
That's what
chuck jaws, when they come together, shouldn't be more than
That's what
more
I've got
than a
these
quarter
set
of an
at.
inch.
That's what I got these set at. So that's my jaw tenon size that I normally do it, and that's what I did it to. I even did it a little bit smaller.
G'day, Sarge. How are you?
You might want to go back and watch that, Robbo.
What's that?
Bounced out.
Sorry?
The thing, it bounced out.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
all right.
telling him he needs a smaller tenon. Look at how far apart the chuck jaws are, especially
Yeah.
on hardwood. It's not compressing except on the 8 corners.
I measured that burl this morning, the one that I'm thinking of doing that big bowl out of. It's going to be 750 to 800 millimeters in diameter, about 250 to 300 millimeters thick.
Wow.
Well,
That'll be fun to watch if you do it.
I'll do it.
Did you try setting up your fun pad?
What's that?
Did you try setting up your fun pad?
Phone pad.
The latest acquisition that you just got.
Oh, yeah, I had a bit of a look around it last night. I was sort of half admitted defeat. I went and saw my computer bloke this morning, and I just said, yeah, I'm having a bit of trouble setting up lives. He said, yeah. He said, that's your problem. He said, you're a perfectionist, aren't you? I said, yeah. Well, I want it to be like a TV studio, not a bloody amateur hour. And he said, I'll tell you what. He said, I set up churches for live broadcasts. He said, I'll come down and I'll have a go. I'll go through your system and we'll sort it out for you.
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Not the same kind of live, but yeah, I'm sure he'll get the gist pretty quickly.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I try to preach the converted too. Maybe I should change my collar. Become the high priest of wood turning.
Carbides are an inside tool.
Tools of the devil.
So, Robbo, would that mean that when we see you, we'd have to genuflect or?
Oh, no, better than that, mate. Lie down flat, absolutely prone. You may kiss my feet.
Oh,
Wow.
that's severe for using the C word.
And geez, if you talked about the skew the wrong way, you'd be excommunicated.
It's time you wrote your own doctrine on the skew and how to use it.
Well, I did an 8-series video. I spent 12 hours doing the videos on it.
I know, I've watched them.
I've watched
That's under your other alias.
Yeah, I still can't get over bloody YouTube doing that to me.
Doing what?
When I went to start broadcasting the lives, they gave me another channel. So hence I've ended up with 2 channels.
Don't you have them on a computer so you can upload them so they're all on one?
Oh yeah, but it'll take hours. Because I have to download them onto this one and then upload them again on the other one. If I wasn't feeling lazy, I could probably do it.
What's Chris saying careful now for?
I don't know. I think he was talking to me.
Because Robbo happened to say the C word.
No. I know what it is. I do apologise, Chris. I'm not having a go at anybody.
And I do have to admit, I ordered my first carbide.
Yeah, like I say, carbides have their uses in the right applications.
Well, I see Jay doing this kind of stuff with his, and he's getting so much more than I am, and I get frustrated because it takes so long. But that's also kind of my problem, though, too, is I'm so impatient that I need to learn to be more patient. But I would like to start doing, or at least trying, some hollow forms. And the stuff that I have, I just can't do any.
Yeah, well, that actually is a good what Jay's doing with it is a good application of using a carbide tool. But then I've got high-speed steel tools and normal tools that I do the same job with.
Like this one I'm working on. I started with a drill. Of course, it ended up off center, but when I mounted, it'd be all right. But I got a 3mm cutter on my deep hollowing rig that I can put all the way down and through this. And that's what I'll use to hollow that out. Because I find if I'm trying to drill in wood this far with a small drill bit, even pulling it out and putting it in again, it causes a lot of friction and heat. And you can actually follow, not on this piece, but on the other one I learned it on. You can almost see the crack go up the side as you're trying to drill it out. So it's going to be 3mm, the smallest I got, and that's what I'm going to use. And it's a cup-shaped cutter. It's out of steel, not carbide.
Yeah.
I can get them in carbide, but.
Hey, Cade, how you going? Can you do me a favour, please? Can you go and have a look at the message that I just put in Messenger, please?
G'day, Cade.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Yeah, I saw it already, no problem. How's it going?
Thank you, Buttercup.
Pardon?
Thank you, sweet cheeks.
Yeah, no problem, sugar.
All right, I'm getting freaked out. Stop that.
Well,
How's
all you
it going,
see is
brother?
the head because he's wearing black against a black background. So you have a head wearing a hat and a hand floating around. He's a mystic,
Yeah,
a Canadian mystic.
I'm kind of lounging in the couch, just getting eaten by the couch.
Well, it's like Peter, Paul, and Mary being eaten by a boa constrictor, and you being a snake person probably ought to have that album.
Yeah.
Oh, he got eaten.
Uh-oh. Where'd he go? Oh, here I'm going to hit the damn wrong button.
Oh, well, why change your habits?
I know. Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Go look at your messenger.
Oh, there we are. I did it.
Okay, gotcha.
Gotcha. What's everyone been up to?
Usual stuff, different depth, different day.
Yeah, same here.
I could tell you, but then the FBI would be after me. It involves a llama, some grease, and the stealth bomber.
Interesting.
Cool.
What have you
I
been
wanna
doing,
see
Kai?
it published.
Well, what did I do? Saturday I had my demo. That went really well. And then Sunday I just relaxed. We went for a walk in the winter wonderland with the niece and nephew and had a little snowball fight and threw him in the ditch and so it was fun. Today I just relaxed, hung out, did social media stuff and tidied up. So tomorrow I'll get back to work.
You going to join us at the DAWG tomorrow afternoon?
Is that tomorrow? Was there a meeting on Sunday I missed? I think
Well,
I
our
did.
club meeting.
Yeah, I think I missed that meeting.
Yeah, you missed our club meeting, but as a member, you're still online. You can log in and see it. It'll be up probably in an hour, probably another day. So you can watch the whole thing, except the pre and post chit chat.
Okay, no
Good night,
problem.
Sarge.
Night, Sarge. Take care. So, what's Tuesday then? A demo or something?
No, Tuesday is the one in England. I forget the topic Tuesday we're talking about. Last Friday, it was really interesting. It was it
was ornamental turning.
Yes, ornamental machines.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, I'll probably be there Tuesday. I'll whip off a bunch of stuff in the morning.
And Paul attended our meeting too. He really likes, I understand he's getting a membership. So he can come to our meeting.
That's good. That would be good. Yeah, what's the topic for Tuesday? Do you remember?
No, I don't. I don't have my list. They had a problem, I find, and I brought it up to them, and they're going to see, because Paul does a lot of the social stuff, posting, and is the fact that I simply download them to my calendar. But you can make a listing so as it can go right to a person's calendar. You know, when you post it, it goes right to their calendar. And he's looking into doing that so he can send them out to people that way. So you have the topic and everything in each listing.
Cool.
That way, you open your calendar, because he posts every 3 months or in advance with the topics.
Rightio, the topic on Tuesday night. The topic on Tuesday night is the ring turning like they do in Austria and Germany.
Oh, captive rings and stuff?
No.
The hook.
They make animals on a like they do
Okay.
end grain turning and then split them out of the log.
Yeah, and there are different figurines and stuff created
Yep.
in the. Yeah, that's cool. It'll be cool.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I thought it was the ring, the new ring tool that really goes back 100 or 2 years. That people are saying new.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll check that one out. I'll be there. I'll just whip off a whole bunch of stuff in the morning. And then put finish on stuff, take the afternoon off.
Yeah, it's what, 2:30, 2:15 to 4. He usually starts it at about 2:15 to 2:10 to 2:15, officially at 2:30.
Yep. Yeah, it's only a couple hours. And I can still do some stuff during the meeting, so.
Yep.
Or work after for an hour before the wife gets home. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of stuff to make to restock the gallery and consignment shops. They're all opening up again, so.
Good. Have some more money coming in.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You can
Even
raise your
with the-
prices because you become a collectible now.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Oh, well, even still, everyone is pretty much raising prices to COVID surcharges and crap. I find that funny. Even my hairdresser put COVID surcharges on the bill. Like, really?
Wow.
Can't you just, like, inflate the price and hide it in the receipt? Don't give me that crock of whatever. That, no, COVID surcharge? Okay.
I wonder if it's because it's a non-taxable item. They have
No,
to
it's
separate them.
taxable.
Oh, okay. Because it's not a
No, it's
labor.
not taxable. Hairdresser? Yeah, it is.
No, I mean the COVID part of it.
No, it still
Oh.
becomes income under the law.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's basically like a 10% surcharge to cover the price of masks and hand sanitizer and basically their loss during the shutdown.
But when it's over, do you think they'll lower the price? Probably not.
No, of course not. No. Then it'll just disappear and the price will be hidden in the receipt.
Yep. And you can blame it on a prime minister.
Yeah. Or tariffs from a president. I'm just,
Yeah, but
just
you don't pay the tariffs, we do. That's always been the big thing people keep saying, oh, I got to buy and I pay a tariff because I'm buying from Canada. Huh? You're paying the tariff. It's not an import duty, it's an export duty.
Yeah.
And people just, I don't know if they want to listen or they just wanted to create some mythical place and thought they learned it all when they were in school and they still remember it because somebody happened to remind them of something. If they ever learned it. I did as a kid. It was kind of, we had to learn Canadian history in all the provinces in elementary school. And not only know the states and their capitals, we had to know the provinces and their capitals.
It's easy in Australia. There's only 7 states, and a couple of territories. But even Australians get where the capital cities are in the states wrong.
Are your states a standalone government?
Yeah, we've got 3 tiers. We've got 3 tiers of government. We've got local government, which is the states are divided up into shires or cities, and then they virtually report to the state government, and then the state government reports to the federal government. Which is all very confusing sometimes. Because we have federal laws, then we have state laws, and then we have local laws.
Oh. Is there a precedence order?
Yes, federal law overtakes anything that the states do, generally.
So the states can change a speed limit, but if it's federal, you're stuck with it.
Well, no, that comes under a different jurisdiction altogether. Speed limits on our roads are generally governed by the state after consultation with the police, road safety people and things like that.
Right.
And local government. Like we had it with our highway out the front here. Our highway used to be 100 kilometres an hour until it was 400 yards down the road, and then it was 60 kilometres an hour. And then about 20 years ago, they changed it. They made it 80 kilometres an hour through the town from 100 kilometres an hour. And then 3 years ago, they changed it down again, brought the 60 kilometre an hour signs out another 1 kilometre each side of the town. And the rest of the road was 100 kilometres an hour. But at 8 o'clock at night, it changes to 80 kilometres an hour. No, well, our town is right on the highway, and it is mainly foot traffic because it's all taken. Most things are takeaway food places. We've got a supermarket, doctor, chemist, etc. But there's that much foot traffic that people were just going too fast through the town, so they slowed it down to 60 kilometres an hour and put up all these lovely flashing variable speed limit signs. So at 8 o'clock at night, it changes to 80 kilometres an hour, and at 7 o'clock in the morning, it changes back to 60 kilometres an hour.
Oh.
That's cool.
I guess that makes sense, though.
Oh, it does, yeah. Well, the stupid part about it was that they were going to put the 60 kilometre an hour signs straight outside our front, virtually outside our gate, or out our side gate there. And they're all the engineers and road people and that are all standing there one day, and I wandered out. I said, "Oh, what's going on?" They said, "Oh, we're just working out where we're placing the 60 kilometre an hour signs." I said, "Well, don't you think it'd make more sense to put them another 200 yards up the road?" "Why?" I said, "Well, you've got a major intersection here." I said, "Just wait." The time was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I said, "Just wait a half an hour and see what this corner is actually like," because the state school is just down on the other side of the highway from us, down another road. And at 3:30, or from 20 past 3 to 3:45, it's absolute pandemonium with brainless women who've picked up their kids at the school, and there's tyre screeching and bloody horn blowing, and we've had quite a few minor bingles on the corner as well. Anyway, they waited. They did. They stood there and they waited. And I thought, Jesus, never seen anything like it. So they moved the signs another 100 yards up the road. So everybody's got to do 60 through the intersection now.
I know here in Michigan,
That's great.
I've only got one speeding ticket, and I beat it, but it was really weird. I was going down a highway, a 2-lane highway, and it went around a lake, housing on one side and boat docks for the lake and piers that people could go swimming off of, because that was part of their property. It's just the road went through it. So the one side of the road was actually township, and the township border was the center of the road. So when they built the highway, the road, it was just a regular road, but it migrated because of people to being a paved, at places, 3-lane, center lane for turns. But the other side where the lake was, that was county, and it was a different county. So one side, the road speed limit was different than the other side. Drastically different.
Well, we have that. We've got a couple of roads like that in Victoria as well, where the roads are actually divided, like divided highways, but there's high density housing on one side, so that's 60 to 80 kilometres an hour. The other side of the road, where it's all paddocks on one side, will be 100 kilometres an hour. It's not common, but it's 3 or 4 major highways like that around here.
This was interesting because I took it to court and did some research on it. And the county, they insist the whole road is theirs because they're the ones that are required to maintain the pavement and the sides of the gravel and all on both sides of the road. So they set their speed limit. But the city insists it's their road, but they only take care of half of it. And the judge, when we were talking about it in court, he said, "You got to be kidding." And I brought in 2 witnesses, one from the county and one from the city. And they both had their paperwork to show that they had the right to do it. So the judge said, just threw mine out and ordered that they get it fixed within 90 days.
Yeah, we had an interesting one at a service station. For you Americans, a gas station on a corner.
It's fine.
On a corner of a crossroad. Now, it was three shire boundaries on that corner. The Shire of Hastings was on one side, the city of Frankston was on one side, and the Shire of Mornington Peninsula was on the other. Now, it was a gravel road coming onto it. And what used to happen was, of course, gravel used to come across the intersection. So on a Monday, every fortnight, the Shire of Frankston would come down and sweep 1/4 of it. On Wednesday, the Shire of Mornington Peninsula used to come down and sweep another corner of it. The Shire of Cranbourne used to come on a Friday and sweep their half of it. So it was always covered in gravel. It was just never clear. So I got the 3 Shire engineers into my place one day. I used to service their vehicles, and I said, "Listen," I said, "do you know what goes on with this corner?" And I said, "No." So I explained to them what happened, that one Shire had come down, and they were never all on the same day. And they all looked at one another. I said, "Yeah, it's a bit ridiculous, isn't it?" I said, "The corner's always covered in gravel." I said, "Why don't you get one lot will sweep it all one on a Monday, another lot will sweep it on a Wednesday, and the other lot will sweep the whole lot on a Friday?" Oh, what a good idea. And that's exactly what happened after that. So the intersection was relatively clear most of the time of gravel, which was bad in my case because I used to get a lot of broken windscreens off that intersection.
Oh, I bet.
Don't make it too thin, Jay, or you won't have enough on the outside to get it down to straight again.
No, I beat one speeding ticket that was fantastic, but I used science to do it. And it appeared in the state police newsletter that went out. It seems that this officer was standing outside of his car having a cigarette with his speed gun. And he clocked me at whatever it was, I forget, but it was, according to his gun, 10 over. And people let it kind of slide a bit, but he was outside and he 10 over. So I contested it. And I contested it that the speed gun, because I had went back to wherever they were in the police department, and I looked at the ordinance ahead of time, and they're supposed to be certified, and the make and model and serial number that they had to be, according to the policy, certified all the time. Well, the man that was doing it was standing outside with a speed gun that was calibrated for summer, hadn't been certified in 3 years. And when it was certified. I looked up the temperature the day that they tested it against, because they use a weather bureau, and the weather bureau says it's 90 degrees. And you simply aim it at whatever this black model that they have outside their building is, and they tweak it so the temperature, the speed matches based on temperature. 3 years it had been out of calibration. And I had the witnesses that testified that this is how it's done to the judge, because he didn't know. And I was first up in court. And we were about 2.5 hours of explaining this over a speeding ticket, only to have him order that the police and the sheriffs and the communities around the city have within 90 days proof of certification for their speed guns. And until that, all tickets were void, and other people went to court afterwards. It made the newspaper and it made the TV, is people were going back and having tickets overturned that had been written since that was last calculated, that they had set them up and tested them. And then all of a sudden they had to be done 4 times a year at the different season changes against their black object and have a sticker on the side. And the test number had to appear on the ticket, so you could look it up online that speed gun had been certified, and whether it was inside or outside a vehicle. Because it's different. You can't shoot inside because the glass screws it up. But they didn't realize that. It was simple physics, but the police didn't know it. They were just raking in the money.
Now, all our speed cameras had all speed. Let's say, what am I trying to say? Anything that measures your speed in Australia on a police car has to be calibrated. I think it's every 30 or 40 days in Australia.
Yeah. Well, at this time, this was 25 years ago, 30 years ago. They had just come out with the speed guns, and they had just bought like 6. And that caught me, but they had given a lot of tickets out for it with that, because they thought, the officers thought they were taken care of, and the maintenance people hadn't even been sent to school on how to maintain them. So they were so totally out of calibration, it was pathetic. But it brought to the attention, and it hit newspaper, went statewide, and then they said that they were given this forgiveness period from people. But you couldn't get a refund. You just couldn't get a refund because you pled guilty.
Well, not to mention all of those tax dollars or fines have already been spent.
Yep.
That's right.
Put in somebody else's pocket.
But I was a research scientist. I had a research lab at the University of Michigan, the Radio Shack Model 1. And that was a big thing that we were doing a lot of work with Tandy and several other computers and getting them out there, everything but Apple.
Straighten that top up first before you start doing anything, Jay.
That's what I'm doing. I'm just putting the tennis ball in the end.
Oh, all right. Shut up, Robbo, and crawl back in your box. So I don't worry about putting a tennis ball in the end when it's still like that.
Speed guns are going to be a thing of the past. In a lot of cases, they are, because the computers in cars and this kind of got snuck in on people. Police can tell what speed you're going because they can read it from the computer. And that has been snuck through the books to put it in the law.
Why is that, Robbo?
What?
Why don't you put a tennis ball in there?
Well, I don't consider it long enough to warrant doing it.
It's half the length of the bed of my lathe, so...
Well, on my laser, it's tiny.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And how many years have you been at it compared to him?
About 40 times longer.
Yeah.
He's been at it as nearly as long as I've been alive.
No, Jay, I thought you were just a young punk in your early 20s.
Yeah, about 25 years ago I was.
I need some of that magic water you drink or whatever it is to look younger. Your elixir.
Well, actually, he is 25. He just looks 45. So I wouldn't be drinking his water.
I don't even drink our water.
No, I was just about to say you don't want to drink Adelaide water anyway.
I was just watching Australia's 60 Minutes. I really enjoy 60 Minutes. We have it here too. And I've subscribed to the Australian one about the fishermen, whole community off the shore that doesn't belong to any country at all. They have no citizenship because they've been for generations living on boats. And your 60 Minutes did a good 25-minute piece on them and the problems they have. Multiple generations just being grown up and living on boats at sea. And pirates are really, they have to watch out for them because pirates just come, take their boat, take the motor, leave the kids and family stranded in the middle of nowhere, or drag their boat somewhere where they're not going to, in a high current area, and just let them be stranded until they hit land somewhere. If they don't die of dehydration, because they also dump over the water, the fresh water and stuff. Because I like the show, and I like the after show where they take some of the set pieces they've had to cut out. We have that too here, the 60 Minutes after time or after hours.
Yeah, the outtakes.
Yeah.
Ooh. Jay, you're getting awfully thin.
No, I think that's a bit deceptive with the tennis ball there.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Looks like he's only just a couple mil.
That's all it needs to be.
All right.
80 grit paper and you've sanded through it.
One more pass. One more pass.
Wants to see right through it.
Words.
Yeah, it's always the last pass that does the damage.
Yeah. What's the wood today?
Ghost gum.
Cool.
Just a bit of gum tree.
Do you really get chewing gum from the gum tree?
No. Although some of the sap in it can be chewed. Like the trees, some of our gum trees actually bleed, and it's if it goes very hard, it takes the edge off chisels like nothing on earth. But a lot of times it's still malleable, and I must admit some of it doesn't taste real bad actually. I don't know that I'd make a habit of chewing it all the time, but you know. And the Aboriginals used to use it quite often as a sort of a resin, if you like, for holding their spear tips and things in. The worst part is if it's still soft and you turn through it, it just makes a mess of your head, your face mask and your turning jackets, that's for sure. Because it splatters out like nothing on earth.
I noticed the other thing on 60 Minutes about your what was it, a football player or a soccer player? Yeah, that committed suicide.
You know, half the shows you mentioned, Dr. Bob, I got no idea what you're talking about, to be honest. I don't watch TV. I actually loathe TV, to be honest. I try and spend as most time away from it as possible.
No, we do have 60 Minutes out here, Bob. What's wrong, Joe?
Yeah.
I'm going to mute it because I'm going to swear, okay?
Right. Now, show me what you're hiding from me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you need to look a little bit closer at the screen.
Well, I'd hazard a guess and say that it probably split because of the tennis ball, did it?
Nope. It's vibrating. It's vibrating like crazy, and I'm getting nothing but spirals, and it's so thin now. When I sand it down, I'm most probably going to put a hole in it. Yeah. So the spirals are staying in it, whether I like it or not. And to be honest, it's kind of pissing me off. Can someone turn that off, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, it's just pissing me off. Oh, well, I'll just mute myself. I don't want to hear that stupid robot noise.
Yeah. Who's got a phone or something open? Well, how thin is it, Joe?
Can you see light through it?
No, you can't see light. You can't see light through it, but this top piece here isn't going to be a top piece anymore if I keep going. So I'm leaving the spirals in it. I'm over it. It's lucky it's even going to be a goblet at the moment, to be honest.
Well, you can always cut the top back a little bit, you know that.
Yeah. Or just have it fairly thin.
Yeah, like, you know, this one's only a millimetre thick.
Yeah. Just a design opportunity. Instead of a goblet, it'll be
Yeah, design deviation.
slightly smaller. So you coming to the meeting Wednesday?
Who, me?
Yeah. Or yeah, you, Jay.
What, the AWGB?
No, that's
Wednesday's
Tuesday,
Eddie
Friday.
Castling. Yeah,
Sorry, what?
AWGB's Tuesday and Friday. Wednesday's Eddie Castling. Or the Zoom Club, the UK Zoom Club. There's that one too.
Yeah, I think the Eddie Castling one's about 2 o'clock in the morning for us.
Yeah,
No,
probably.
No, it's 11 a.m. I already said that earlier.
What, the Eddie
11
Castling
a.m.?
one is?
Yes.
Yeah, what's the AWGB one then? That must
No
be...
idea.
That's 2:30 my time, so I don't know.
Yeah, the bad part for
2:30
me
my
is
time, so 3:30 the next day your time. I think it's like 13-hour difference for me.
Oh, if you give me the time, I can put it into the clock and it'll tell me.
Yeah, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Right, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. I'll look it up and see.
That's Eddie's.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be demoing something. I guess I better make a couple tomorrow. So I have a couple examples. It's a long day. Throw my phone around.
What's he calling his channel that it's on now?
Oh,
Eddie.
I don't know. No idea.
Just Eddie Castellan?
Worldwide
wood tuners.
wood turning.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember when he started that.
I put a link in the group chat about it. A direct
Okay.
link straight to the page, so you can click on the link when it starts.
Yeah,
I
if you
will
go
do.
to the web page, worldwidewoodturners.org, whatever time the meeting is, it will actually change the timer to your time. So it'll tell you exactly what time it'll be where you're at. It's 6:30 Central Time, so 7:30 my time, Eastern.
Yep. About 2 hours before Jay starts.
Yeah, about 11 o'clock for us.
So hence on that my live will be a little bit later.
Well, I have bought a lot of stuff from him and made a lot of pens. A couple hundred that I've shipped down to him years ago when he started, and his friend there in, I think it was Texas, that started the pens for vets. But they weren't vets at the time; they were for active duty servicemen.
Hmm.
Now, what's the other one? The AWGB is the other one. And which one were you talking about, Kate?
Eddie Caslin on Wednesday.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah, that's 11 o'clock for us.
Yeah. In the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's 7:30 at night for me. Might be right in the heat of the afternoon doing your live if you wait after Eddie's. But won't be too hot that day. It'll only be 35.9.
Ah, God.
A soothsayer.
Be out in your T-shirt and shorts.
Yeah.
Need a big green screen. Hang behind you, then you could be anywhere.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Cade, what I miss of not going to Canada, besides the better beer, is the
Maple
fishing.
syrup. Maple syrup.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, because I have family that have a pretty good business with it in Northern Ontario. So we get it from the family, usually for Christmas, but the last 4 years there's been a tariff on it, even if it's a Christmas gift.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. It's like my French red hot sauce. I put that on everything.
Now, I know, and bacon.
Yeah,
All
and
my
bacon.
all of my relatives put it on their bacon,
Yeah,
even when they do thick sliced bacon.
yeah. Or chicken. Like
Yeah,
baked maple syrup chicken. Oh, that's good stuff.
Never had that. That sounds really good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It caramelizes, especially if you have like the chicken with the skin on it. It caramelizes and gets really nice and crispy and crunchy and sugary caramelized.
Mm.
Yeah, it's good.
diabetic's nightmare,
Yeah.
but too good to say no to.
Yeah.
So, one of the best things is just right before your bacon is done, then put the maple syrup on it in the pan. And so it caramelizes around the bacon and turns it into meat candy. So good.
Yeah, that's good too. I put it on right when I throw it in. So it's
Sounds
like
like
it's
it
like
would be nice as a jerky.
crunchy caramel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's
jerky.
not diluted. The syrups we get here in the States are almost all of them are diluted. It's not the thick
It's water.
like molasses. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. Put it in my coffee, tea, all kinds of stuff.
except in Quebec, and that's why they're different. They don't know what tastes good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do people still pick on people from Quebec?
Yep. Yeah. It's even good on vegetables. Maple syrup vegetables, like
Oh,
caramelized baked,
yeah, squash. I like it over butternut squash.
Oh, heck yeah. So good.
or sweet potatoes.
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
dessert.
How else would you cook a sweet potato?
Brown sugar.
Is there
Yeah.
lots of Canadians that are obese?
No.
Oh, it sounds. I would be if I ate all of that.
No.
You wouldn't have any teeth, but the dentists love it. I mean, it's a never-ending industry in Canada, dental work, because of the high sugar, and they won't take high fructose sugar. It's got to be real sugar. And then you got the maple candy by the bar. It's not a bar, it's a big piece of crystal almost.
Yeah. Just maple syrup crystal. It's good though.
It's not like a candy bar. You don't pick it up and chew it. You put it in the corner of your mouth and your cheek and enjoy it for a while. A lot of the smoked meat uh, that I've seen, my family used to do, and they would hang it out, cut it, strip, smoke it, and then put it in maple syrup. And then hang it to dry for a while and keep dipping it 4 or 5 times into the maple syrup vat. And then
Yeah.
finally let it dry.
It's good
Guys, it
stuff.
sounds like Tammy's home, so I'm going to jump out of here. You guys have a good evening, day, and talk to you later.
Thanks for coming in,
Take
Blair.
care.
Good night. Good
Yep.
night.
Peace.
It looks like Jay did it, but I don't want to jinx it.
Uh-oh. What was that?
It was too thin for him. He was going to cut it off. Robo stopped him.
Yeah, I know. I was just sweet. Is that 40 grit sandpaper? I'm just joking, yeah. Nice.
How's your snakes coming?
They're doing good. I fed them the other day. I had to feed them all, so that went well. The big one's got like a medium rat. Small one's got small rats. The medium one's got a couple others, got a baby chicken and a mouse.
How often do they eat? Is it based on their size?
Yeah, based on their size or the size of the meal. So if you feed them fairly small meals, feed them like twice a month, every 2 weeks, If you feed them large meals, you can feed them like every 3 weeks or every 3.5 weeks. But they need water the whole time.
Does tap water bother them with all the chemicals in it, or do you have to use rainwater or distilled water?
Nope, I use tap water. Doesn't bug them. They're fine. Oh, did something happen?
I don't know. When that happens, something screwed up. I hope not. It's looking good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, please don't take any offence to this, the elderly gentleman in the room, but it looks good if you're blind. Sorry, just
Why would happen?
me.
Well, it looked good. You blame it on your cameras if
It's
they
fine.
look good.
No, I sanded the vibration swells out, and underneath there's even deeper grooves. So I can't go any thinner. I don't really want to go super thin.
Well, I'll tell you a way to get. You haven't gone through the wood yet?
No.
Well, here's an idea in decoration.
You can
I
stabilize
saw
it
a person
with the
do
pumpkin.
it, and they used colored markers, and they went around them, and they made it look as if they followed some of the ridges and different sizes, and they sprayed it white, and then they did the other stuff. The white was to help stabilize it, a little body to it, or did they dip it in paint? They might have dipped it in a paint bucket, but then they put all this wild stuff around the top, and it was made to look intentional because the paint came in all the ridges.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I was going to color it anyway.
You can
Well-
also just stabilize it with epoxy. Just do like a bar top epoxy coat, and it'll be
Yeah.
pretty durable. I wouldn't use the ball anymore, though. Well, I mean, you could if you haven't moved it, but if you have to bring it back up into the cup or tighten it, I mean, it might crack the wood since it's so thin.
I'll take the camera down and I'll move it a little bit closer so you can see what I can see.
Look what I can see. Looks like wood. Looks
Oh.
like what?
All the gouges, you know. I know it's my shit tool work, but yeah, I've sanded down past these wells here.
That's fine.
Just hide it with paint of some type, and then all sorts of. You have multiple colored markers. Do the top with multiple colored markers. It'll hide the fact that they're there.
Just take the tennis ball out for a minute, please, Jay, and let's see how thick it actually is. Looks to be about 2 or 3 millimeters thick, is it?
That's not too thin.
It's not really too thin, but I've still got a sand on the inside too.
Well, I'll just sand it up and see what it comes out like.
Yeah.
Because you'd be
Doesn't
surprised
have to be-
sometimes.
Yeah. If it does get thin, I mean, it doesn't have to be sanded pristine because an epoxy finish would fill all those little chunks or little pieces that tore out.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. I just don't know if we're gonna be stuffed doing resin. That was my other one that I did code.
It looks good. It looks cool.
That's a embellishing wax that I made up.
Sweet. Yeah, looks good.
I'll just go back and look at that one.
Yeah, not all gonna work out. I mean, the way you planned, it just modify on the fly, becomes a design opportunity, and it just gets tweaked a bit. Can
It's a
still be
learning
finished.
experience. It's a
Yeah.
learning experience.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Each
recovery
one.
is too.
Geez, Jay, I could fill a 50-acre paddock with all the mistakes I've made over the years. I tell you.
Yeah.
Mine are all in the barbecue pit.
Yeah, well, mine have been cremated as well.
We've cooked food over them.
Yeah.
Or they sacrificed for a chicken or a steak or a burger.
Yeah. Even if I mess up and it doesn't work out like I planned, I still finish it.
Oh,
And if it
yeah.
gets sacrificed to a fire, okay. So be it, but I still make a point of finishing it.
No, I try and finish it, and then I just virtually turn it down to nothing, just to keep practicing with the chisels. That's all.
Yep, exactly. Is it tea time? Hanging that pinky out there in the air? Tea
No,
time!
I've just had mine.
I know. No, I was talking about Jay with his standing with his pinky out like it's tea time.
No, it's not. It's not big enough to fit his whole hand in.
It's like Tetley's tea, you know? Isn't that how it
Yeah.
goes? Yeah.
Don't you worry about it, Joe. I do the same thing too. Keep my fingers out of the way.
Yeah, I do too. It's just...
I think the worst cut I ever got was off a piece of timber, and it actually went down into the web down in there. I sliced through there on the rim of a thing I was sanding. Jesus,
yeah.
it hurt.
Yeah. Took a while to heal too, because every time you use your
that's
hand,
right, because
those
you're
webs
using your
are-
hand all the time. Yeah.
You're flexing and cracking and
Yeah, I had carpal tunnel surgery on this arm from here to here. And had a brace for the arm and one for the whole arm, but the special glove. And they said, well, after 2 weeks, we want to see how it worked and how the stitches are. And after that, looks pretty good. You don't have to wear the glove unless it bothers you. But I couldn't wear the glove when I turned. So I just, in essence, bit my cheek and turned anyway. Because I've learned the trick that when you're a POW, one of the things you learn is not to concentrate on pain. You just wipe it out of your mind, period. That way it really gets to them if they try to torture you. And you can mentally stop pain. At least as bad as your brain wants it to be, so you want to run, because that's the idea of pain, is to stop what you're doing. But that is something I have mastered with cuts and stuff, and it scares me that I can do it. Just as I tell everybody, just don't think about it.
yeah, mind over matter.
I'm singing a song.
Sorry?
He's singing, he says. Maybe it's a copyrighted song, so we can't do it.
No, it's full of swear words. You don't want to hear it.
Well, Aussie swear words are different than ours. I know, I've learned that when I worked with a bunch of Aussies in DC.
I'm swearing at this.
It's not listening
I know.
because you had the gall to cut away its ears and carve out its emotions. It bowed to your skills and desire. And then it's still fighting back a bit, but you'll win.
That's what I always reckon. Like people say, "Oh, the wood talks to me." No, the other voices in my head talk to me. I'm the one holding the chisel. It'll do as it's told.
Mhm.
Yeah, the piece I brought in from the coal that I have the final wax or oil on. I got to do another coat, heat it with a heat gun to soften it and put another coat on so as it hides the fact that it's got a dog's nose imprinted into it. Riley decided to sniff and see what it was. And it was still tacky. I got a soldering iron as a gift, a brand new one, because I needed one, and I was talking with a neighbor, so they got online and got me one. Really nice. It multiple tips, and it's the new tips that have the tip that goes in it, and you can change them, and they come out, and you can shape the tips. And, oh no, ceramic tips. It's a ceramic tip, different sizes of them. Temperature control. And if you don't use it, because it senses the heat flow, and if you're not using it, it actually turns itself off. Not as a timer, but sensing that the tip is overheating for too long. Over what it's supposed to be. Really nice. I plug it in, turn it on, and I hear a bang, and it goes up in smoke.
Now there's another word. Solder. All Yanks say solder. It's a soldering iron. In Australia, it's a soldering iron. Don't know what it's like in Canada. What is it in Canadian?
It's a soldering iron.
Yeah. Yeah, it has an L in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, even Joy put the L in it.
Hey, Mowgli, come here.
How you going, Joy?
G'day, Joy.
Hey, Joey.
Well, I get the pronunciation from my uncle who worked for the radio stations here in Detroit as an engineer, sound effects engineer.
Yeah.
And that's just what he learned, and that's what they used around the station.
I know. It's just one of those words.
Hey, look at the pattern on there where J is soldered. There's a definite diagonal pattern.
Where? What are we talking about?
Where the sanding dust was still in there. You could see it in bands. The dust.
Yeah, it's spirals.
And the vibration.
Yeah.
Yeah, the chips are cuts from the vibration.
That could be a pattern in itself if it repeats itself. Accent it.
Yeah. It's just a chatter tool. There you go. You made your own chatter tool.
No. Oh, yeah. Yeah. On that part.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Jay, I don't know that I wouldn't hit the cup with that. That's for sure. If that's what you think you're doing. No, down there, that's fine. Right here. Now, just bear in mind that the texturing tools don't work real good. They tend to tear side grain fairly easily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that meant to be spinning? It's facing the wrong way. You bloody wanker.
And just watch out you don't unscrew the nut out of it or the bolt.
Sounds like you've been there and done that. I have.
Yeah, I had to order 2 from Sorby.
I haven't done that yet.
I was lucky. I just went to the big box store here, and they had all the little nuts and bolts that would fit it for me to replace them. And I got 2 extra sets. Before the lockdown, they had pretty good supply of that stuff, but that's all dried up. I had to get something here a few months ago, and almost the whole department was empty of all the little nuts and bolts and washers.
Yeah, it won't be a
And
minute.
the reason is they had it, but they didn't put it out because they didn't have the staff, and it was
All right,
only like 1/10%.
I've got to go. I've got a customer here. I'll see you later.
Yep.
All right, take care.
See you later.
If you're still on, I'll come back in.
Yep. That'll be about 4 hours later, Robbo. I think we'll be done by then.
Well, it's getting midnight, and I got to get up at 6 to get the kids run out of the door.
Yeah, it's getting late here too. I gotta get out in production mode.
Yeah. Oh, cheers for coming in, Dr. Bob.
Well,
And disappear.
I enjoy my night with you guys, but I better because I've got to rattle one of the doors and then take care of the dog. They're supposed to, but but we had homework. I was in the middle of a game, and all these excuses.
Yeah.
So I just get the dog out, make sure that he's done his run, and then come in and dry his feet off, because I know within 10 minutes of me being in bed, he'll be laying next to me.
Yeah, my cat.
He even drags a blanket that's his and on his bed. He drags it right in and drags it on the bed, but he hasn't figured out how to unfold it or whatever. But he drags it even during the day to be on my bed. He knows he needs a blanket, his blanket. He's tried dragging it outside to the shop so he could lay out there. Doesn't work in the winter.
No.
But yeah, I will catch you tomorrow night.
All right, no worries. It'll be a little bit later because I'm going to go to that other Zoom one.
Yes, I am too. I got it on my calendar.
Halfway through.
DAWGB?
No, the wood turners, worldwide turners or whatever it is.
That's Wednesday, so that'll be Thursday for you.
Oh, okay. All right then.
Yeah.
Okay. All right then. It says Wednesday, but all right then.
It's Wednesday their time, Thursday.
Yeah, Wednesday like Washington time, so that's Thursday your time.
All right then.
They're
All right,
getting the times better on YouTube, but they can get the time, but they always seem to screw up when it hangs around that way over midnight on the day.
Yeah.
Their algorithm and stuff that they use is right, but they just don't tell you it's another day away.
No, too many people in lockdown, I think.
Yeah, I think so. All right. Well, I'm gonna head out too. I'm gonna get up early in the morning, but I'll see you at Captain Eddie's meeting. If I don't see you tomorrow.
No worries,
Then I'll
Cade.
catch
Thanks for
you,
coming in.
All right.
catch you
Take care.
tomorrow in England.
Yeah.
In England.
Take care, Dr. Bob.
Yep. Bye.
See you
Bye.
later.
Later, Jay.
See you later, Cade. This is a spiraling tool. Robert Sorby spiraling tool. Hello. What's going on? Making some noise around there. Hey? Oh. What's going on, puss? Oh, I like that, is it? Oh. Mhm. So we've got two different wheels, teeth, ears, whatever you want to call them. Got that one there, and that one. It's just gaps, different gaps between teeth. See this one, two different ones there. Well, I'm gonna change the direction on this, and then just make it go a little bit. Maybe try and get it to go in between where I've done it there, and then I'll swap that over. Put this one on.
Good girl.
So that's done the opposite. So then I can have a bit of a crisscross. Then I'll just do the same with the smaller one and try and get it to go down in between the other lines. Yeah, I definitely went in between, that's for sure. Just change the angle now. Go back and do it again. Go on, puss. What's going on? Pretty good. Alright. Yes. You're not going inside, puss. Come on, inside now, please. Come on, move. Inside now. Bloody staller. Alright, so today's effort was basically a total cock up. Only really because I got like frustrated with myself, and I was kind of really annoyed with myself before I even started turning, to be honest, today. Just so I'm colouring this piece. I've just got to go to the little boys' room. I'm really hanging out.
I see you. You don't have little legs picked up. What else? Yeah, thank you.
Oh God! All right. So yesterday I made up some embellishing wax. I did a that's it. I just stuck my finger in it. Anyway, there's a little bit here that I made up. All right, there's a little bit of sawdust in there, but you know, stiff shit, doesn't really matter. Anyway, I used that, and I did it. This is what I got. That's yesterday's effort. I had to come up a little bit different color here because this is actually red. See the red wood underneath? That's red going through the center. All right, so it's a couple of different tones on it. I'm not really impressed with how it's darker there and not there, but anyway, either way, the wood's it's nice. It's the first time I've tried to make an embellishing wax and it came out perfect. First time. You got a different color today. Something, let's just say, might as well be on the other end of the scale. Look at that. Fluoro orange. So I'll give that a go. Just gonna get a rag. So just orange. I'm not going to mix. I'm not going to blend the colors or anything like that. I'd just rather try and keep it the one color if I can. It's nice and bright on the white there. Look at that. It's even too shiny for the. It's a bit hard, this stuff. That's all right. I maybe went a bit crazy with the colour, but we've got plenty of it at the moment. We'll bugger it. Why not? Splash out. How you going, Tommy? Just experimenting with a embellishing wax I made. It's basically turned out to be a disaster, this goblet. I think I added a tad too much colour. So I'm just going to put some Carnauba wax. I don't know if I said that right. I always tend to dick it up. A bit of that stuff, you know, lad. You know what I mean, mate? Made any bowls lately, Tommy? I don't know if you can see the patterns in that or not. I shall move the camera. More sophisticated camera holder, you know. More sophisticated camera holder. You can see that all right. Yeah, that's better. So I've got the spiraling tool. Yeah, I did. I got this. Has got a finer tooth on it. This one, and I've got one that's got it's less teeth on it. So say every second one there's a tooth or something. I did both of them. Did the big one first. Did the notches on here. Did that one first, and then did that one, and then put the other wheel, the finer wheel on there, and then the embellishing wax over the top. So it didn't work terribly well over the spiraling, but nevertheless, all the holes are filled in, and that's what I wanted. And I just sealed it with a little bit of the Canova wax. Just sealed it with a little bit of that. And I'll leave it for 20 hours. Come back out tomorrow. Yeah, it's different. Not so sure. And the top piece here, that's pure shit tooling on my behalf, and also the fact that this piece is like half the length of my lathe bed, rather, right? And it's just so it's maybe vibrating a little bit. I had the spiraling pattern going along here from the vibration on the end of the wood, and I sanded that back, and there was this underneath of it. So to say I was annoyed was slightly modest. So it's I've got it to sit down in the grain in there, and you can see it. Oh, I get the friggin' hand out of the time. You can see it in the grain there, and down there too in the grain. And the spiral goes that way, then mixes in the middle, then goes the opposite way down there. All right, I'm going to might knock it on there, I think. That's about all I can do here now. I'm not going to really worry about the inside too much anyway, because it's just, especially we're going to end up in the fire pit when I'm finished with it. Fat fingers. You're talking about this. And I've got fat fingers. Yeah, because that spiraling effect you get when the wood's vibrating, well, that's what was underneath of it. Oh well. I'm gone. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, night, wherever you are. Whatever you're doing.